But wherefore do not you a mightier way make war upon this bloody tyrant, Time, and fortify yourself in your decay with means more blessed than my barren rhyme? Now stand you on the top of happy hours, and many maiden gardens yet unset with virtuous wish would bear you living flowers much liker than your painted counterfeit. So should the lines of life that life repair, which this Time's pencil or my pupil pen, neither in inward worth nor outward fair, can make you live yourself in eyes of men. To give away yourself keeps yourself still, and you must live, drawn by your own sweet skill. That was Sonnet 16. So this is a pretty direct continuation. That first line of the sonnet is, I interpret it as referring to the previous sonnet. But why don't you do this? And it's a little disappointing, actually, because the last sonnet he was kind of emphasizing that there's this alternative to having kids, that you can live on in verse, you can live on in writing. And then he totally he's like, oh no, I'm a shitty poet, so have kids instead. And it's like, damn it, Shakespeare. A couple moments of that, actually. There was, in that second set of lines, many maiden gardens yet unset with virtuous wish would bear you living flower. It's like, oh yeah, there's all these women out there that just exist for you to have kids with. Yeah, that's a great message to send, Shakespeare. Come on. I suppose that's not really necessarily a Shakespeare thing. It certainly was, I suppose a product of the times, but it doesn't give me warm and fuzzies to read. I just can't read a way around it. It's a bit disappointing. Kind of bait and switch. He kind of undercuts his last sonnet with the, but really poetry, and, it's really not that great of a way for someone to live on or to have a legacy, which, I kind of disagree with. I think that, here I am in the year 2017 talking about poems this guy wrote 500 years ago. I think verse is a pretty great way to have a legacy. But yeah, some kind of interesting. Yeah, I found it interesting that he called Time a tyrant. That's an interesting image, and it's honestly, I don't think it's a tyrant. It's this whole, would people live forever if they could? I don't know. It's kind of boring. That's what's so great about time. That's what's so great about a lack of permanence, and that's harkening back to some of the previous sonnets. This idea of permanence, and time moving forward is gives us perspective and gives context to things, and it's not. Time is not. It's a human construct, and it changes depending on your speed and the physics of it. And it's cool. It's pretty cool. But then he calls it a tyrant, but he calls time a bloody tyrant, and that's. I kind of went back and forth of well, time's this beautiful thing that human beings have created, but at the same time, the idea of time as a bloody tyrant, or as time as this time wins, and that comes that theme surfaces in a lot of Shakespeare's sonnets, that we all die, we all die, and some of us die before our time through tragic accidents, but old age has claimed more lives than any killer, you know what I mean? And and so it's really kind of some powerful imagery to assign this construct that time is a bloody tyrant. And it's true in a lot of ways, right? We never have enough time in the day, right? Everyone's always rushing around and no one has enough time. Time is, and in that way, it really is a tyrant on our daily lives. But, yeah. It changes near the end of the sonnet, though, and time becomes an artist. Time becomes time has a pencil, and that time having a pencil, nature having a pencil, time, those kind of constructs being artists, and especially nature being an artist is, that's exactly like. And then Shakespeare goes on to say, like, well, he mentions the painted counterfeit, and that got me thinking that it's like, well, yeah, I suppose, any painting, statue, poem, story, they're never, and then like today in like modern day, like photographs, videos, they capture some of the essence of a thing, a person, but I mean, really. And then obviously the argument in this sonnet and a lot of previous sonnets is that, having a child is like the most complete way of bottling up and keeping alive the essence of a beautiful thing, a beautiful person. But it doesn't do it completely, and there's no way to do it completely, except it every moment exists, and then it's gone, and then it's just a memory, and so there's just no way. There's no way to perfectly reproduce something that's going to last. That's kind of the point of it, right? Like, be around for it when it's happening. And, all sorts of philosophical stuff he's got me thinking about this William Shakespeare. Cool. Sonnet 16. I'm going to do 17 next week. It's going to be fun. I'm wearing my Celtics shirt. Won today. Yeah. Good day. Good week. Good year. 2017. Good year. Thanks for watching.